right, folks. Welcome to the 19th episode of the Lakers Lens podcast. It is playoff time.
Woo! We're
here
here.
with the here with the co-host Max Arquilla.
What's up?
I am Matt Hollenbeck. Guys, we split them 1-1 with the Suns. Kind of a tale of two teams, if you will, from the first game and the second game. Kind of scary first game. We're going to get into that soon. But Max, how do you feel about 1-1 in general in Phoenix?
I first want to say it's good to be here. I was really excited for this podcast just because I feel like we have a lot of positive things to talk about, and that win was really good for us. So I just feel good. Like I feel content and comfortable where we're at right now. I think there are some things we do need to work on and clean up, and we'll talk about it later, but just want to get like your take on LeBron's kind of like his injury, if it's still affecting him. He obviously doesn't look as explosive, so I kind of want to get into that later, but so definitely some things to think about, but I feel good. Anthony Davis is playing like Anthony Davis again. I love the bounce back performance. And I love he took the hate like a man. He admitted he was, he took the guilt. He said he felt guilty, and we're not going to win with him playing like that. He owned up to it. He came back and he proved everyone wrong. All the people that were talking about him, he just shut everyone up. And that's what good players do. I think Shaq said this. He's like, if you're a good player, you never have more than one bad game. Like if you have a bad game, you don't have two bad games in a row. Like if you have a bad game, the next game you're going to have a good game. That's a sign of a good player. And so it's nice to see that. But once we dive into it a little more, we'll kind of go into more of the specifics, but very pleased where we're at. And I'm ready. I'm ready for tomorrow. I'm ready for game to be back at Staples we got to talk about that first time. And you want to tell them?
Yeah. First time in 8 years.
Yeah.
Didn't sound normal to me because I kept thinking of when LeBron got hurt.
Yeah.
Last year. No.
And we didn't make the playoffs.
No, 2 years ago. When he first got here with the hip thing and we didn't make the playoffs.
Yeah.
And then before that, I mean, it's been, since 2013?
Yeah, first LeBron playoffs at Staples. And AD, everyone. right?
Yeah.
Everyone, I think. Yeah.
Crazy. So that'll be super fun. One other thing I kept texting about was, are we gonna have the same amount of fans as Phoenix has?
Dude,
like,
I was thinking about that too. It's like can we? Like that's so unfair that they look full capacity, dude. Like what?
Right. So and I was watching the Clipper game last night, and they had a ton of cutouts.
That worried me, dude. That did worry me. I mean, we need our dude. That would give us such a boost. Like you have no idea, man. Like that's huge. I don't know.
I hope so, because it's a legitimate advantage.
Oh, 100%.
So either that, or we need to fly some people out to Phoenix to just take over the stadium, because I saw a few of them there past couple games, but
like at this point, it should just be like everyone should, like I don't know, just let's bring more people in. I think at this point, I don't know. I mean,
yeah, it's frustrating.
It is kind of it's kind of the interesting subject, but yeah.
But let's dive into this first game. First of all, right off the bat, 90 points is not going to get it done in a playoff game, typically. Suns stats, 90-99, Suns. Bridges, 10, Crowder, 8. DeAndre Ayton came out hot. He played well in both games, 21 and 16. D-Book, 34, 8, and 7. Chris Paul obviously had that Paul Pierce moment. 7, 8, and 4. Cam Johnson, 10 and 6. Cameron Payne, 5. Lakers, LeBron, 18, 10, and 7. Drummond, 12 and 9. KCP, 7 and 2. Schroeder, 14. AC had 10. And Trez had 12. And of course,
Drummond
AD
have more than 9 rebounds?
No.
Wait, what? I swear he had a double-double, didn't he? No.
12 and 9. Game 1.
Oh, game 1. I'm thinking, oh my God, I'm mixing up the games. I'm sorry. I'm so, yeah, gotcha. That's still really good, though. I mean, pretty solid.
Yeah.
You know?
We only played 19 minutes.
Yeah.
So, I mean, what went wrong here, Max?
Oh, this was a tough one. To me, it seemed like a feel-it-out game by the Lakers, and I don't like saying that. Like, I don't think that, that's just not the right thing to do. Like, you should not be doing that, but that's, like, how it felt. And I think, obviously, the biggest thing was Anthony Davis and all that concern, and I kind of touched about how he bounced back, but, like, that was, at the time, right before yesterday, that was concerning. Like, that was a very, like, DeAndre Ayton's pushing you around? Like, are you kidding me, dude? Like, that should never happen. Not even one game. Like, that's unacceptable. And, like, to see AD, like, almost get pushed around against a guy like that, don't get me wrong, like, he's a good young talent. He's got some potential there, but, I mean, you're talking about Anthony Davis, and DeAndre Ayton hasn't even had the best year. Like, the Suns had questions about him. So that was very just strange. I don't really know why he just didn't really seem engaged. And, I think it's really easy to just blame Anthony Davis, but it's also like, and this is going to be a big theme today, but making open shots, man. Like, it is getting really frustrating. Because it's like, it's not even like the Suns are like flying out, like playing great defense. Like, I mean, I'm not trying to rip on the Suns. They've done a phenomenal job. I mean, they did a great job in this game against AD. But, we're getting open threes. We're just not hitting them, dude. Like, I mean, I saw KCP miss, I think, 4 wide open threes. And I don't know if you have the stats, but I think we were 1 for, it was really bad.
7
I remember, like,
for
at
26.
halftime. There you go, 7 for, And then free
26
throws.
total.
We missed 11 free throws, if I'm staying corrected there.
That's right.
That's horrendous, dude. That's not winning basketball. Like, it's not.
Right.
And we got out-rebounded. So we just got pounded in categories that surprised me. They really surprised me. So I don't know if it was a focus thing or what, or they didn't sleep good the night before, but what were your thoughts?
Yeah, just tough to watch, man. I'm taking a harder stance on, like, guys like AD and just coming out so
flat,
like, heartless, and passion. Like, you could just feel it in the Suns. Like, they're like, this is our first playoff berth and whatever, how long. Devin Booker's first playoffs. Chris Paul's fired up. It's like, they want to win, and we come in, we do this a lot, and we talked about this, and I think it's becoming kind of a thing with AD, like, whether it's coming back from the injury, whether it's starting the season, whether it's starting the playoffs, like, that first couple games, in this case it was 1, but he's just uninspired, and that's fine during the regular season, but you can't afford to rack up, like, individual losses. It's just not gonna fly.
Because he's so valuable to this team. Like, he means so much,
Right. And then you look at the difference between Game 1 and Game 2, and it's like, well, what did he change? Was he more aggressive? Was he hitting shots more? Like, how can you avoid that? How can you avoid that happen? It's not like he just played bad in Game 1. He was literally soft. He was...
Yeah. Yep. He was.
So, and then, of course, LeBron only had 18. Couldn't hit our threes. Just a really flat start. And then, of course, like we talked about in the past, they kick it into high gear and bring it back for the second game. But I don't like that. I mean, like, the consistency needs to be there. I'd rather play a percentage of as good in the second game and bring that to the first game and win by 1 or 2 in both games than get hammered the first game and destroy them the second game. You know what I mean? Because then we have 2 wins.
I feel like we would probably feel a little better if, like, that first game, it was a battle the whole game, and, like, a couple things went wrong that kind of screwed us. Like, and then coming back and responding to that, I think we'd feel a little better. But they got, like we just went over those categories. Like, those are just, like, you're getting beat. Like, Suns made their free
Yeah.
throws. Like, Lakers didn't. Suns out-rebounded us. That's effort, man. Like, Drummond and AD should not be getting out-rebounded by Aiden. Like, I'm sorry.
Right.
I do want to really quickly say that Chris Paul is a dirty player, and that play on LeBron was horrendous, and there's no reason for that in this league. And I think it sucks that that's going to be swept under the rug by the NBA, and I think that's wrong. And, you know, I understand LeBron exaggerates. Like, that's a whole nother, he yaks, whatever. That's a whole nother story. But a lot of players do, first of all. Second of all, like, I don't know. I just feel like it bothers me that that's getting swept on. Like, that's a dirty play. He's done it in the past to LeBron, actually, when he was on the Rockets. That happened to me in basketball once. Someone pulled my arm and my shoulder, I sprained my shoulder. And that could tear something. Like, that's a dangerous play.
Right.
And that really bothered me. I just wanted to say that.
Yeah. And he plays it off so, like, annoyingly. It's like, oh, we're best friends, like, me and LeBron are friends. I would never do that. Like, yeah, you would.
The evidence is right there. Like,
he did it.
Clearly tug it. Like,
also, he's not going to get that rebound at all, ever. So, like, why is he acting like he's going to get the rebound when he literally just, LeBron brings his arm up and he yanks it out? Dude. It's like, that's a good way to get hurt.
Exactly.
And, it's like
and LeBron did
Kevin
get hurt.
Love.
Just luckily it wasn't something, like, serious.
Yeah,
you could shake off.
That whole sequence was insane. With, of course, Cameron Payne just so dirty.
Dude, okay, that's another thing. Just knocks Caruso down. The play is dead.
Yeah.
What?
I'm glad Trez came to the the rescue there, because
Payne got ejected, right?
I don't know. Yeah, Payne got two techs, like, back to back.
Good.
And then Trez and Caruso both got one, but what did he do? He just
what do
slapped
you
the
want
ball
him to do? He just got knocked down. He's like, hey, what the hell, man? Like,
yeah. But that was a crazy sequence.
Yep. It's gonna be a physical series, though. I just do want to say it's gonna be physical, like both these teams.
And it set the tone for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's move on to game 2, which we're pretty stoked on. I mean, just right out of the gates, completely different team. Suns side, Crowder 8, Bridges. Sorry, final score is 109-102. Suns or Lakers. Ayton had another double, 22 and 10. Booker somewhat contained, 31 and 3. Of course, Chris Paul not 100%, 6, 5 and 3. Cameron Payne 19 and 7. It's crazy. That's pretty much it. And then AD, huge numbers, 34, 10 and 7. I think he had 3 blocks. LeBron had a nice little night, kind of facilitating, 23, 9 and 4. Drummond, like you were talking about, the first one had 15 and 12. Schroeder had a sneaky 24.
Yeah, dude.
Gasol hit a couple big threes off the bench, 6 and 2. And then 2 guys that just stick out to me with big, fat, essentially zeros. KCP 0 and Kuzma 2.
Man.
What's going on there? We can talk about the good stuff, but let's talk about
we'll talk about everything.
These two.
Well, I do want to say, like, I want to point out Schroeder in this game. We've been very rough on him this season, and the COVID thing, I think, really held him back. But still, that was something I don't even think we touched on in the first game. He wasn't good enough, and I think we do maybe give him an excuse, because we don't really know these COVID effects. It seems like he clearly had COVID, right? And, like, we've seen players like Jason Tatum says, like, he still gets out of breath, like, way faster, like, people have had effects, and to expect him to come back in perfect shape is not fair, I don't think. Yeah. And I get, like, we're all expecting more Schroeder, but you know what? This was a game we needed him, and he came through for us, right? Like, this was a game that when LeBron, he can't be taking the whole load scoring, and that's why we got him. Like, we got him to do this for us. Like, this game we couldn't have won without Schroeder, and that's a move. Like, this is exactly why we not drafted him, why we traded for him. So I just want to say that was a huge part to this victory. Anthony Davis, I mean, I feel like I talked about him a a lot already, but you know, that's the AD we know, right? Like that's the dominant AD. That's the generational talent, the guy that the defensive player of the year in my opinion. Like how active he is. Like I was watching some highlights today, dude, and like even like there's a couple plays he just got like deflections on balls. Like,
yeah.
Those little things that don't show up in the stat sheet, like that matters, dude. Like getting in passing lanes, like even just your length, it causes issues for the offensive players. That's stuff that people don't realize. Like that's why when he's on the floor, the Lakers are just obviously better. Like that's, you know, and even LeBron does that too. And so LeBron was great. I think, you know, I do want to kind of talk about like maybe his lack of explosion a little bit here and there. He did have some dunks, but give him credit for coming in clutch. I mean, dude, the Warriors game, clutch shot. Then this game, a few turnarounds, like just that clutch three where he goes boom or whatever. Like, after coming back from an injury, for him to just be that clutch, like without his rhythm really even being fully back, like that's impressive. That's focus. And it was just a really good game in a lot of different aspects. I thought even defensively we were feisty. We battled, you know, we weathered the storm when they made their run. And I think we held that lead. And Andre Drummond, phenomenal. I feel like people rag on him a lot. He doesn't get a lot of credit. People aren't even talking about him in this game. He was phenomenal. He was phenomenal earlier in that game. He got so many offensive rebounds. He can be... I said this, dude. Like, I legit said this before the series. He can be an issue for the Suns. Like, if he can figure it out and start getting used to this lineup and these new changes, this new offense, like, he can destroy the Suns inside. Because Aiden can't guard AD and Drummond. So I'm telling you, man, like, they need to keep pounding inside. And, you know, the Suns are packing the paint, trying to make us hit open shots. We need to hit open shots, and we need to keep attacking and trying to beat them with our size.
Yeah, that brings up 2 points for me. The first is, sounds like it sounded like over phone you were pretty stoked on the Gasol rotation.
Oh, yeah, good.
Want to touch on that. And then speaking of shooting, wish we could play the clip, but see LeBron after a Suns timeout getting into KCP saying, I want you shooting the ball because he dished it
for him.
Wide open three.
We're going to need him. Like,
you want to comment on both those things?
Yeah, so the LeBron one, I love that. That's leadership. We're going to need KCP to make those shots. Like, there's no excuse. Like, you are getting paid to do that. Like, it's time.
Yeah.
And you know, KCP did, I have to admit, on the other side of the ball, he did have some good rebounds, some good steals. He was active defensively. So we got to give him credit there. But you literally don't have anything to do on the offense except spot up and make a three. Like, that's your job. You need to do that better.
Wide open too.
Yeah, so good LeBron to keep telling him, keep shooting. Don't get discouraged, right? Like, that's when you get in your head. That's how you get out of a slump. You stop thinking, right? You just play. And he needs to do that. And I'm really hoping for a bounce back game 3 at home. I hope he feels a little more relaxed. And then the Gasol thing, I think it was the right move. I think we talked about this, or at least I kept saying, like, just give him a chance. Like, I think I said it last podcast, like, he should play in this series. And I think that proved him spacing the floor and his veteran play just helps us. He's an offensive tool also. Like, he's a little slow. Can't, like guards, he has trouble, staying with guards. But Harrell's not a great defender either.
Yeah.
So, I think it depends kind of how things are going. If Gasol's off one night, maybe put in Harrell right away. One thing, McLemore deserves playing time. I don't know why he's not getting playing time. We need shooting. Put a shooter in. THT, I think this moment's maybe a little too big for him. He has some tough matchups too, like pesty guards, which he struggles against, that play you really high, like he did against that Knicks earlier in the season. So I don't get it. Like, THT is not the best defender. Like, put in McLemore then. Because defense, I feel like, is the reason McLemore's not getting playing time. It's like, dude, this guy can come in and light up a team and hit 3 threes. Like, please play him. That's why you signed him.
Especially if KCP's not doing it.
Exactly.
touch on Kuzma, though. I mean, just where is he? Is he even on the court? 20 minutes, 2 points.
Dude, I just think we said it earlier a few podcasts ago. Like, I think I've just accepted, like, this is who he is. He's not going to get any better. He's too inconsistent. I've kind of given up on him. I want him to just defend now because I don't even trust him shooting anymore. I just think it's a bad percentage shot. I don't trust that unless it's wide open. He's not even looking to score anymore. So, as long as we're winning, I don't really care. I want him to play defense and get rebounds and do the things he was doing earlier in the year when we had success, right? Like, remember early in the year when we were doing really good, like we were blowing out teams? Kuzma was doing those dirty play, like the dirty work, and that helped us. So just do that again. And when you're open, make the shot. Just that's it. It's not rocket science,
Yeah. I was thinking about when you were talking about Gasol, just watching his minutes last night, it was like you were saying, how he spreads the floor. Mm-hmm. If we can get guys to hit those threes when it comes to him, and instead of completely laying off of him, it's like the defender has to go out a little bit, so it's going to leave someone else wide open, or the defender's scrambling back to the other side of the court. And I think a lot of cases, maybe the reason he only had 2 assists was because we couldn't make that extra, or the shot from the extra pass.
That's a good point.
There were so many times, even the play with the violation, the shot clock violation,
oh, that was just, what are we doing, dude?
But my point is, we were so wide open on those just kick, you know? That's what I think Gasol brings to that lineup, where it's just 3-point threat all day, but didn't really hit him last night. LeBron, like you said, was just that little fadeaway corner step back thing is.
That, dude.
I used to think it was crazy, and now it's I expect that to go in. It just works for him.
Yeah, but it's still such a tough shot. I don't know, man. I don't feel confident still because
he makes it.
I know he does, but it's just still every time he shoots it, I'm like, dude, that's a tough shot.
Yeah.
But
but 1-1. Obviously we wanted 2, but let's talk about. Well, we still got some time. We can take a break soon, or we can just keep talking about this game. I mean. Yeah, I think KCP is one of my big.
Do you think McLemore should play? What would you do in that? And the Gasol. I want to get your take on the Gasol Harrell thing too.
Yeah, I think I put too much stock in Harrell going into the playoffs.
Uh-huh.
I didn't realize how disappointing he can be sometimes. Mm-hmm. Just from what I saw in the regular season, it looked a lot different than what it looked like last game. Mm-hmm. Or the first game. But Gasol's starting to grow on me. Obviously, the defense is a huge issue. Mm-hmm. And then sometimes when he misses the threes, I'm like, why? It's why is he in? It's weird. Yeah. But I think it's the right play right now.
He made some big threes like that. He made one really big three, and that was needed at the time. Because, we were down. That was when we went down. Yeah. And I remember I was like, oh my God. And he kind of hesitated on it. And they left him open, and he confidently knocked it down. That was a veteran, finals experience. Remember, this guy he won a championship.
Yeah.
Being a starter, he knows the game. He knows what he's doing out there. He's smart. So, sorry, not to interrupt you. I just wanted to say that about him.
No, yeah, I love it. And
then McLemore.
I mean, if KCP has another game like that, I think he's replaceable, except for on defense.
KCP though? I don't think.
I mean, who's he gonna play for?
Wes
not
Matthews.
The whole.
Wes Matthews, I would say.
Yeah, but Wes Matthews only played 4 minutes, so.
In the second game?
Yeah.
Give those minutes to take the THT and.
Yeah.
Give both those minutes, Matthews minutes. Give those to McLemore. I'm serious, dude. I don't care.
Yeah, I feel like he's been around the league so long, he, like, doesn't care. He doesn't get nervous. Like, he's like a J.R. Smith, like...
Right?
Type where he could just fill it up if he needs to.
Dude, it's just very simple. Like, you are shooting bad at threes. Can we get someone who can make a couple threes? That would really help us right now.
Or even Kuzma, dude. Take a couple of those minutes away.
Honestly. Like, is McElmore that bad of a defender? Like, am I missing something? Like, I don't know. Everyone keeps saying, like, oh, it's because of his defense. It's like, I mean, I've never really seen him. Like, yeah, he's not the best defender. Like,
yeah.
But
I mean, he could guard, like, Cam Johnson or...
Yeah, and Wes Matthews was getting eaten alive by Devin Booker. Like,
yeah.
Come on, dude. Like,
yeah. Another thing I wanted to talk about, I guess it kind of leads into next game, but I think we put like a little bit more pressure on Booker this game and just contained him slightly more, and I think if we can do that, that's really the key. I mean, like, Crowder only has 8 points, 7 points for Bridges, like, just no significant numbers. And now that Chris Paul is like 20 minutes a game, it's like...
He's hurt, yeah.
If we can keep Booker below 30-ish, then I think we can win it. Win.
I think so too. Get the ball out of Booker's hands. Let Crowder have to make a play at the end of the shot clock. Like, I'm okay with that.
And I don't think Cameron Payne's gonna score 20 every game.
Yeah, come on, guy's streaky, but that's it.
Yeah. Well, all right. Let's end the first half early. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back to the second half, talk about tomorrow's game, and then around the league news. So we'll be right back. Peace. All right, folks, we are back with the second half of the Lakers Lens podcast, third quarter preview, Staples Center, Thursday. What are the keys to success, Max?
My biggest thing of this game is don't beat yourself, right? Come out, don't turn the ball over, make your free throws, make your open shots, and continue to... I think a big key is what you were saying before about Devin Booker. I think now with Chris Paul being hurt, I think defensively that's our biggest mission right now, right? It's to contain Booker to a point, right? Like, he's gonna get his 30. Like, I mean, that guy's an unbelievable scorer, right? Like, he's gonna get his 30, right? But you don't want this game to be a game where Devin Booker drops like 50 on you and you lose, and it's all about Devin Booker and he just goes off or something like crazy. He's making all the... you gotta keep him uncomfortable and make him work. Make him work. Pick him up. Same with Chris Paul. Even though he's hurt, he's going to still play. Make them work. Tire them out. Like, that's their offense. Like, and I also want to see them to continue to feed AD both AD and Drummond inside, low. Like, I liked AD attacking more, getting more in the paint. I want to see him push the defenders down, back, and get position. I just want to see more inside work for this offense to thrive. And I think don't beat yourself. That's like my biggest key.
Yeah, I think I'm on pace with that. I just like when you're speaking of making open shots, like, think about how easily we would have won that last game.
Yep.
If just like 3 or 4 of those threes went down.
Just get hot.
I think Ayton is another point of just talking point about what we need to do. Just bully him, man. Like, get him. He's a skinny dude. Like, just don't let him get those offensive boards.
Box him out fundamentally. Like, stop trying to like play around him. Like, just get a body on him.
Right. It seems to get like, or we seem to like lose him sometimes. Like,
yes, yeah.
If he's like probing the bottom of the paint, like,
he
gets a lot of easy dunks like
it's weird.
Air ball misses and stuff.
Yeah.
So I think we just need to just keep track of him, like keep a hand on him at all times.
Yeah, exactly.
And then when the shot goes up, just throw a big body on him.
And also make him work. Like, I think that's a big key for me. Like, make them work. Like, hound them, right? Like, that's how you tire a team out. And tire Aiden out. Keep putting a body so he has to go around you. Keep putting another body on him so he has to go around you. Like, so much of basketball, that's just effort, right? Because that's going to tire Aiden out, and then he's not going to be getting those offensive rebounds that are second chance points, which they got a ton of the past 2 games. Second chance points where they knock down a 3. I mean, that's a huge swing right there. You go from you going down, scoring a 2 or 3, to them getting another chance and getting 3 more points. Like, it's just huge.
Can I just add one thing I was thinking about?
Mm-hmm.
I think Caruso's my favorite player on the team.
Really? Okay.
He's just so reliable.
So smart
on defense. Sometimes he makes weird offensive plays, but like he shoots the ball at the right time.
Yeah, you're right.
Like all of his threes make sense. He just attacks super hard.
High
but his
IQ.
defense is like, it's like no matter what the atmosphere is or like how we're feeling as a team, he's always the same. He's always like
pressure
110%.
moments like under 2 minutes, like tied. Like he plays better.
Yeah,
like it's incredible,
and he's only getting better too.
Yeah,
I mean he's. Just to think about where he came from, I think,
so
like,
cool.
Yeah, he's
awesome,
killer.
Like,
I think, yeah, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, like, no, you're right. Like where he came from, and like he had to work way harder than everyone, and man, it's crazy. Some guys just like don't get scouted and have their chance.
I think. Yeah, I think that's probably part of why he plays so hard too. Is like he always has that chip on his shoulder.
Yeah.
Because he knows at any time, he could have gone back to the G League or whatever. But especially in the playoffs, like he's just so valuable to like keep the team grounded and the effort.
He's gonna get paid for that,
right? Yeah. And I love his his attitude, like in the way he carries himself, isn't like he came from that. He acts like he is a superstar.
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah.
He's got
humbled.
that. He's got that confidence that like, it just.
But it's like a genuine confidence. It's not cocky or anything. Like he's just out there competing, right?
Yeah, but he's not afraid to like with the Cameron Payne thing. He's not afraid to get in someone's face.
Exactly.
He still complains about calls and stuff, which I like. He just gets in the refs a little bit, which I like too.
Doesn't get discouraged, like.
Yeah, so I just wanted to bring that up, but I think we should be okay. And I'm predicting. Do you have a prediction?
So yeah,
I think we should do 2 games. I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm predicting. I'm predicting a W here. I feel good. I do. Like, I really do. I really do think yesterday was a turning point for a lot of players. I think Andre Drummond. I think Anthony Davis. You were talking about, like, your question marks with him, which are valid with AD and kind of just, like, how sometimes he looks unmotivated. And I feel like this is a turning point. I don't know. It just feels like it. And maybe I'm wrong. And maybe he goes back to having a bad game. But it kind of happened like this last year. Remember, like, that first Portland game, he played bad, right? Like, and he came back and he dominated the rest of the playoffs. So not to say it's going to be exactly like last year, but he's capable of being consistent throughout the playoffs. He did it last year, right? And I feel like it's an obvious one, but I really do think, and I've said this and I still stand by it, and I said it before these games, that Anthony Davis can destroy this Phoenix Suns team and can single-handedly beat this team. Like, I really think... Like, I think he can even play better than he did yesterday. I really do. I think he can drop 40 on them one game. 40 and 12. And 3 blocks and 3 steals. Like, he can do that. So... with that, I'm giving my hot take. And...
What is it?
You ready for this one? Anthony Davis...
It can't be worse than the Macklemore one.
No, that was my worst one of the years. Don't remind me, dude. What was that? He didn't even play. Anthony Davis.
All right.
In one, can I? Because this is kind of a bold one. Can I do it for the next 2? It's like for both games.
Both of them?
No, like either or. Like if he gets it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. he will score in one of the two games 50 points. First highest scoring game in his career in the playoffs, obviously.
Wow.
And I think he's going to go off. I think he's going to hit some threes. And remember, this guy's in his prime. Let's not forget, ladies and gentlemen, this guy's in his prime right now. He's had an injury. He's now had some games under his belt to get warmed up. He's starting to look basically 100% like normal AD. I mean, this guy's dominating.
Yeah.
Yes, he had that hiccup of a game. It's a mystery. I think that snapped him out of that. I really do. Yeah. So I'm taking that. That's my hot take. I get one of the two games, so if it's not this game, then it's the next one.
Do you think we win both games?
Yeah, I'm taking a 2-0 sweep. Us going up 3-1. And... man, do we have to do our... Wait, what was our prediction before the series? Didn't we predict what we
I said 6 and you said 5.
5, right? Okay, so I'm sticking with my gentleman sweep now. So I think we're going 3-0. But we're only doing the 2, so 2-0. Yeah. I just feel good.
I'm in the same boat, but I think we'll lose the 5th game. No, the 4th game. No, the 5th game.
Wait, but we're not.
And then we'll win the 6th. I'm just saying.
Oh, as for far the whole, gotcha.
But yeah, I think 2-0 this week makes sense. My hot take is that it's a little more reasonable, I think, than yours, but it's still kind of weird. I think Gasol tomorrow is going to have 4 threes.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's actually a pretty bold one. He doesn't like to take a lot, but that's... yeah. I could see that happening.
I think he's going to get hot with like 1 or 2, and then he's just going to shoot 2 more, and they're both going to go in. And everyone's going to go crazy, and there's going to be a timeout, and then he won't make any more shots for the rest of the game.
What are your keys to the game, especially tomorrow?
Yeah, just keep that pressure on. I really think the tide is turned, honestly. Especially with the LA energy, it's just... I think they're just going to keep that foot on the gas, especially like early on, first, second quarter.
Yeah, they're going to be pumped.
Yeah. And, like you said, AD take over, contain Ayton, keep Booker under 30. Hit open shots, free throws, all the little things, hustle plays, box out.
And make open shots. Like, seriously, please. They should be shooting hundreds of threes right now. Like, I
just think it's a mental thing, especially with KCP.
Do you think that'll help when they're home or make it worse because they're like overthinking it?
I had a weird theory about LeBron's thing when he spoke to KCP, and like, as someone who has like experienced that before, in a way, like, it almost makes it more pressure.
I totally
Does that make sense?
You.
It's almost like you're already down bad, like you're already pissed off, and then your best player, the one that has been passing you the ball to shoot it after you've been missing it, tells you, I want you to be the one that shoots it. Does that give you more confidence to make it, or does it make it harder?
Yeah.
What do you think?
I actually agree with you. I do, because I've been in kind of the same position, with guys that were older than me, kind of like...
Yeah.
Okay, you're right. It's like putting more pressure on you. I think just, again, and this kind of relates to like my current job, because like I have to provide feedback to people, right? Like, and it's not an easy thing to do. And as a leader, right? Like, LeBron's the leader, and I'm okay with LeBron taking that leadership role and like going up to KCP, but like, and again, I don't know, but we're saying like how you feel like that maybe puts more pressure. Maybe that's like how KCP like takes feedback. Like, that's maybe that he likes that, and that like gets him going. We'll see you next game. So I think we do need to like, that might be for us, but maybe not for him. Which is something to think about too. But yeah, I know what you're saying. Like, it can definitely put a little more pressure, and I think it's just, again, it's like kind of how you say it and knowing that person, right? It's like when I give feedback, I have to like it's how I give the feedback, and then it's also like knowing how that person takes feedback. Like, some people like it's more bold and straight up. Some people kind of get like triggered, like, you know, and you have to say it. So I think it's the same thing. Like, it's the same thing with basketball. So I'm trusting LeBron that he knows and that there's a communication there, right? Like, if KCP doesn't like that. And I remember, like, Mario Chalmers, he didn't like that.
Yeah.
And that's why LeBron and him butted heads. Like, LeBron would tell him, like, hey, you got to do this. You're not, come on. Like, we have high expectation for you. And they got in a fight, like, a couple times. And I think once they, like, pushed each other, like.
Yeah.
So that's an example for you. So let's see if maybe this is how you get to KCP. But I think all in all, like, it might be better to calm down a little bit and, like, say it in a more constructive way. But I don't know. That's just me.
Yeah. I think the way it happened, it seemed like it was like for past 2 games up until that moment, it was like, let's let him figure it out on his own.
Yeah.
No one talked to him about it. Like, just pat him on the head and be like, "You're good, man."
Yeah.
And then that was kind of the last straw for LeBron. That, like, when he just had a wide open 3 and he passed it. So maybe he just kind of blew up, and it's not like a negative thing, but he's like really trying to fire KCP.
Yeah, in front of, like, everyone's obviously watching that. I don't know. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough to say.
We'll see. I bet you he misses the first one, like, barely, and then he starts hitting them.
Okay,
That's kind of my thing.
He's gone in slumps this year, and I don't know, man. He's been pretty inconsistent. Like, to be honest with KCP this year, like, it hasn't been the best year, right? Like, the playoffs, whatever. Like, we give him credit for that. We gave him the credit. Like, he's phenomenal, but
it's the playoffs now, you know?
Yeah,
it's
it's time to really start stepping up, and I think consistency is all of that, you know? And I need that from KCP. Like, we need that desperately.
Yeah. Well, we're looking pretty optimistic for next week, but wanted to do a quick little look around the league. Some interesting things going on. We can start with the East because we're not involved in that. Philly, of course, is up. They're playing right now, aren't they, Max?
Yeah, they're up 71-57.
Yeah, so I was hoping our Wizards could do a little bit more, but it's tough.
Yeah, I just don't think they're. Yeah, I think that.
I'm just happy that Beal is in the playoffs.
Yeah, for sure. It's just sad though; they're gonna get bounced.
Yeah, is Knicks game doesn't start yet?
No, it's on. The Hawks are up 7, dude. Herder just a huge dunk, dude. And then
really?
just screamed at the crowd. So sick.
Wow. So Atlanta's up 7 right now, and they have a 1-0 lead. Kind of surprising.
Yeah.
I thought the Knicks had a little bit of juice going.
It's just the end of the first, so just tons of time.
Oh, okay.
So they'll make a run, but still impressive start from Atlanta.
Milwaukee kind of just not really something to talk about.
That was a weird series. The start of the series, though. The first game was like super close. Like, Butler hit that shot to go into overtime, and then like just a blowout after. Like, that was.
Yeah.
That was a weird.
That was weird.
I don't know. Bucks do look good though. I do have to say.
Bucks look really good, yeah. And kind of like not really talked about right now, but we'll see when it comes down to it. Really interested to see if it turns. Well, I'm sure it will, but like Bucks Nets, that'll be fun to watch.
Oh yeah. Oh yes.
So Boston's struggling.
3 teams, those 3 Bucks, Sixers, and Nets. Like, that's a pretty. I think those would be close series. I really do. I don't think the Nets are going to breeze. You know, whoever they play in the Eastern Conference Finals is going to be a good team.
Yeah.
And it's probably going to be the Sixers, I think. But
yeah.
Or Bucks?
Well, the Sixers kind of have like a pretty easy route to it.
Yeah.
But Boston's struggling pretty hard. Yeah. They got clapped by Brooklyn.
That was embarrassing.
Last night. Durant just kind of unstoppable. Yeah, I don't expect them to do much. Jason Tatum got like hit in the face or something.
Yeah, dude. That should just forfeit.
Yeah.
It's just over.
It's tough.
It's over.
Yeah. And then we go to some of the weirder stuff. We have Memphis takes a 1-0 lead on the Jazz. Now,
Wow.
of course, Donovan Mitchell didn't play.
Did you watch that game?
Yeah, Dylan Brooks, dude.
Dude, what? And John
Brooks is the real deal.
So sick, dude. He's so fun to watch. Like, I have so much fun watching him.
Yeah, he's crafty. Yeah, he's a good finisher too. He's really good finishing. Hey,
they're feisty.
I want the Grizzlies to win.
Yeah, game 2 tonight.
I do. Yeah, excited about it. Hello, Max. You've been talking all this stuff about the Clippers and how good they are.
Oh, I can't believe it.
Dude, what did I tell you about the Mavericks? They want revenge.
You did. You were right.
They want revenge.
Right. Dude,
you don't mess with Luka.
How did it take this long for us to talk about the Clippers? I can't believe that. I've been celebrating that. I can't believe I didn't even talk about that at the beginning. I've been so happy, not only because the Lakers won, because the Clippers are down 0-2 to the Mavs.
Yeah.
They're falling apart.
I'm telling you, man. Well, it's the same team as last year, pretty much.
With Batum.
Right. And Mavericks are ready to go. They know exactly what needs to be done, and Luka is just unstoppable.
Dude, Luka, like, surprises me more and more every day in, like, a good way. Like, I've watched so much of that guy play basketball, and, like, every single time I just cannot believe how talented and skilled he is. He's unstoppable, dude. Like, there's no way to game plan for him.
Yeah.
You just can't. It's over. Like, like I'm serious, dude. Like, it's not. You can't shut him down. Like, even more than guys like Devin Booker. Like, this guy will destroy. He'll go for 15 assists and just tear you apart.
Yeah.
He'll rebound.
Yeah,
he'll score, and it's just clutch. Like, it's.
That's the thing is I was watching this one possession last night where he just absolutely just broke down. I think it was like Terrence Mann. Just like pump fake, spin, pump fake, like, and then it was like 5 feet from the basket, and he hit a wide open shot, and he dumped it off to like Kleba, and Kleba wasn't even looking, and it went out of bounds, and the announcer's like, "You have to shoot that!" Like, this is your time.
That play. Yeah.
And he just got so open, and like it's like if he doesn't have that shot, it's an assist, and if it's he's pressured, he goes around you, he pulls up, and there's always someone wide open.
And he usually makes the right play. Like, that was a one-off, but like usually he's making the right play. That's what's so amazing about him. It reminds me kind of like LeBron, you know?
Yeah. It was just a case of like the shot's so easy that he chooses to. And you saw him too. He's like, "My bad. That's my bad."
Yeah, he knew. Yeah.
It's like, who says "my bad" when it's their turn to shoot the ball? Like, usually you say, "I should have passed it to you," you know. But yeah,
22 years old too.
They're the real deal, man.
Wow, this guy's gonna be, if he can stay healthy, he's going down in history, man. This guy. Yeah. I mean, dude, he's just every year the stats are just tell it for themselves. And
his skill set is good for. Like, longevity. Like, he's not incredibly quick or jump high.
Yeah. You're right. That is a great point. Yeah.
So he's gonna be like 35, doing like similar things, you know.
Like, who will have a better career, Zion or Luka?
I don't think Zion will last more than 5 years as like a really good player.
Really?
I mean, it's just
he is special though. Like, just his.
Yeah. I mean, but I think it's a natural progression, like, of the body to just gain weight, and he can't handle that. He just can't. Like, he's gonna get hurt, knock on wood. But
and I agree, and I think that's where the difference is, right? Just from what you said about Luka, and then also, like, you know, Zion, how he plays, it's wild. It's that's
just
not
imagine
normal
him
to jump that high.
Imagine him 15 pounds heavier and then jumping less high and moving slower. Like, then what is he? You know, he's just a huge guy.
He is pretty hard to stop though right now. Like, it's just dude, he just can get the ball in the paint and just elevate over everyone. It's like
No, I'm just saying, like, in maybe 10 years or
so. No, I got you.
I think Luka will still be doing crazy stuff.
Because look at LeBron, dude. Like, he's been able to, like, just facilitate. You can always be that type of player, and I mean, dude, and he can shoot. Like, it's just, the guy has it all.
Yeah. Let's talk about Trailblazers. Kind of a sneaky Game 1 win over the Nuggets, and then the Nuggets came back just hard on Game 2.
They couldn't get over the hump.
What do you see there, Max?
Yeah, they just couldn't get over the hump. I was kind of watching that game, too. It was... They would make a run, but you got to give credit to Denver. They made stops when they needed to, and I mean, Jokic is unreal, dude. It's a fun series, though, because you got Jokic versus Dame. Both of them just phenomenal. That's tomorrow, I think.
Do we care who wins?
No, but I think the Blazers are going to win.
I mean, like, as the Lakers.
I mean, I would prefer to play the Nuggets, probably. But I don't really care. I don't really care. Like, I don't. I think we played the Blazers enough. Vogel's kind of figured out how to contain Lillard to, again, to an extent. He can't stop these guys, but I think he's familiar with playing him. We played him last year in the playoffs. We took care of him in a gentleman's sweep. Like, I think Nurkic would be a great matchup with Drummond. Mm-hmm. And I think that caused them issues because AD then can... And that's the thing with Drummond. So just not to, like, get off track here, but, like, that's the thing with Drummond. It's like he can create mismatches just because if you have a big center that's a good defender, like, you're going to have to guard him. Like, he's going to take out Robin Lopez, Actually, I don't know. Now I'm thinking, like, if we met with the Bucks or something, for example.
Yeah.
I don't know. But anyways, I think the Blazers are going to win. I'm feeling pretty good. I think that might go 6 or 7, though. Could be a 7-game series. Wouldn't be surprised.
Well, if it is, and we get done in 5, we get a nice little break. But that's pretty, like, forward thinking. But yeah. I mean, there's not much more to talk about. Good stuff.
Go Lakers tomorrow. Come on.
Yeah, we're excited.
Do you want to plug
the...
Let's go.
Hopefully they let these fans in, man. I'm looking for some noise.
Tickets,
I don't want any fake noise.
$5,000. Probably can't.
Yeah, at least that's the tough thing is we're not gonna have like our core like nosebleed fans, the people that are loudest. You're gonna have like famous people and
they're like, oh,
Yeah.
That is a good point,
Drake.
dude.
I hate that Drake comes to our
game.
games.
I know, dude. Get out of here, man.
It's like he literally. If the Raptors were playing, he wouldn't even be there. So why are you taking a courtside seat from a Lakers fan?
Because he can do whatever he wants. Because he's Drake, which is ridiculous.
Yeah, that's true. Anyways, guys, looking forward to a big week. Follow the Twitter at Lens Lakers, Instagram Lakers Lens, YouTube Lakers Lens Podcast, Spotify Lakers Lens Podcast. Max, anything you want to say? Matt, you kind of went off on Twitter this week. You're going to be tweeting a lot more this week, right?
I will continue to tweet, give my thoughts and everything. I'm getting some likes and responses here, so I love it. Like, challenge me, question me, ask us questions. Like, seriously, like if you're listening to this, like we would love to talk. We'd love to answer your question. I don't know. I feel like we need to get a little more following, but I'd love to do like a Q&A. Like a lot of podcasts do that. I think that'd be sick if we get some questions.
Yeah.
And then I don't even know. This is just another thing too. Like we should like maybe have a guest on, get a different voice out, get a different like view, like point of view. I don't know.
We should email Mike Trudell and see if we can get him on. Kind of sick.
That would be sick. But anyways,
Maybe we can get James Worthy to take a seat on the podcast.
He never sits.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that'd be cool. So, guys, we're looking forward to a huge, huge week. Let's get it to 3-1, and then let's just figure out the rest after that.
Yes, sir.
But stay live with us on Twitter and engage in the conversation. Go Lakers. Peace.
AD's gonna get 50.